Week 12 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few centers I look to sell and trade this week. The first guy, Kristaps Porzingis of the Boston Celtics. So Kristaps Porzingis, no doubt about it, he's playing well this season here for this Boston Celtic team. But many factors I'm saying is why I would sell him off this week here. Right now, obviously, you're playing with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Jrue Holiday. In my opinion, he's a fourth option on this roster, and we've seen it already this season. The rebound numbers and points per game have gone down. So on the season, 19.8 points a game, 7 rebounds, 1.9 assists, 1.8 blocks, 1.6 threes a game, and 53% from the field. So Porzingis, he's been a nice third or fourth option for this roster, for this Boston Celtic team. But obviously with injury concerns throughout his career, and the last few games here, we're starting to see Jaylen Brown start to get the basketball more, make big plays, and put up points, coming off a 40-point game yesterday as well. And also Jrue Holiday, I think, is going to get more involved in offense in terms of shooting the basketball and being more aggressive, taking the ball to the rim. So the last few games for Porzingis, January 5th versus Jazz, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a block at 3, 57% from the field. January 6th at the Pacers, 2 points, 3 boards, a steal, a block. And January 8th at the Pacers again, 19 points, 5 boards, 7 assists, 3 blocks at 3, 46% from the field. So Porzingis, I know he's playing great basketball, like I said, but his ceiling's pretty much 19, 20 points, which is nothing wrong with it. But on a team like Boston, you're not going to see much more than that with Porzingis, with Jrue Holiday, Tatum, and Jaylen Brown is the main options. If Porzingis was still on the Wizards or a team like that, obviously, was the first or second option, the points per game would be up and more of a ceiling he would have as well. So right now, where he's pretty much maxed out, I believe, Porzingis, and you know what you're going to get from him this season, especially with injuries as well throughout his career. He's a sell-high center this week. The next center I look to sell in trades, Jarrett Allen of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So Jarrett Allen, no doubt about it, playing great basketball and obviously taking on more of an offensive role as well with Evan Mobley and Darius going out multiple weeks on the season. Here for Allen, 14.8 points a game, 9.9 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 66% from the field. But the last couple weeks, like I mentioned, since those injuries to Garland and Mobley, 21.3 points a game, 15.5 rebounds, 4.7 assists, a steal, 64% from the field. So he's playing top-notch basketball, no doubt about it. Here's Jarrett Allen, and he's ranked number 15th in the last couple weeks in all fantasy basketball. So Allen's going out there, he's putting up huge numbers. We know he's already a walking double-double for the most part, is Jarrett Allen, but now scoring anywhere from 15, 20 points per game, and he's getting those big rebound games. We've seen him now go over 15 rebounds in the last 2 out of 3 games. January 3rd versus the Wizards, 17 points, 19 boards, 7 assists, 2 blocks, 70% from the field. January 5th versus the Wizards, 12 points, 12 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, a block, 71%. And January 7th versus the Spurs, 29 points, 16 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, a block, 57% from the field. So right now, he's at peak value. Pretty much it's him and Donovan Mitchell as the top 2 guys there with all the injuries going on in Cleveland. And they're trying to hold this team afloat, which they've won 3 in a row. So right now, while Allen is playing great basketball, and like I said, once Garland and Mobley comes back in the next few weeks to a month here, those players are going to get back their roles. They're going to get the basketball in their hands more, and his scoring per game and even the rebounding per game, I think, drops off. So right now, while he's playing great basketball and a top-notch fantasy player the last few weeks, he's a perfect sell-high candidate this week, and I think you actually could get a 2-for-1 deal for Allen, because we know centers, a position in fantasy basketball where you're not finding many great centers, even though I know some powered forwards who are great, qualify at center, but in terms of a rebounder, shot blocker, and good field goal percentage, Jarrett Allen's amongst the top in the league. In the third and final center I'd look to sell and trade this week's Isaiah Hartenstein of the New York Knicks. Ever since Mitchell Robinson went out with the season-ending injury, Hartenstein's playing great basketball, and he's been a menace on the boards. On the season, 6.6 points a game, 7.6 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.1 steals, 1.1 blocks, and 60% from the field. But the last couple weeks, like I said, since Robinson's been out, 8 points a game, 10.7 boards, 3.1 assists, 2.3 steals, 2 blocks a game, and 59% from the field. So he fits like a glove with Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and OG Anunoby. Here is Isaiah Hartenstein, but another player getting a lot of big rebounding type of games, and even passing the basketball. The assists have been pretty solid, in my opinion, but the only thing I think this New York Knicks team, they'll look and upgrade more, either at the shooting guard position or even center towards the NBA trade deadline, where they think they could compete and be a top contender in the Eastern Conference. And Hartenstein in a playoff matchup, they might not be that enthusiastic about him being a starter, so it's definitely a possibility where the Knicks go out there and trade for a starting center January 3rd versus the Bulls. 10 points, 20 boards, an assist, 5 blocks, 66% from the field. January 5th at Philly, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 88% from the field. He definitely held his own in that one versus Embiid, no doubt about it. And January 6th at the Wizards, 8 points, 19 boards, 2 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks, 50% from the field. So Hartenstein right now, he's playing great basketball. He's been a 4 or 5 category type of player since he's got the starting nod with Robinson out. But I don't think it's going to keep up. And like I said, there's definitely a possibility the Knicks could go out there and trade for a starting center towards the NBA trade deadline within the next month. So right now, while Hartenstein's playing great basketball, no doubt about it, he fits this Knicks roster. He's a sell-high candidate this week. So that's a few centers I look to sell and trade for week 12 of the fantasy basketball season.